stressful. It's like having a conversation.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly. So the how I started this was we were doing a bunch of videos on our YouTube channel, and you know, we stopped. So
Oh,
all four of us got busy as hell, uh, and we just stopped doing the videos, like just all of a sudden. And so I was trying to keep the channel going, like, videos and stuff. And I
yeah.
was like, well, I guess, I can talk to these guys because I was already talking to some people. I would have random video calls with some of our viewers,
Oh, okay.
like they would
Yeah.
text me like, hey, what's going on? Or, hey, I got this new thing or whatever. And I would just, hey, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
And it would be at night, and I would just we would video call. And so we would just sit here and talk, and they would
Yeah.
show me their new pistol or whatever.
Oh, that's
One
so
guy
cool.
was, yeah, one guy was showing me like, he was asking me something about something was wrong with his gun or something.
Mhm.
And, I was like, well, what are you doing right now? Let's video call, and then you can show me, and I'll kind of, walk you through it or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had been doing that for, I don't know, a year, before I started
Yeah.
legitimate, doing the podcasts and recording them.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. So anyway, that's how they started. So,
That's cool.
uh,
I like
yeah, and it's always been very casual, very, like, hey, what's up?
that. Yeah.
you know? So anyway, uh, well, now I'm recording, and now everything's good. We'll go back to kind of what, when we started here.
Yeah.
But so welcome to the podcast, and thank you for being on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Um, what I was asking you earlier, what we were talking about before,
Hmm.
the like wearing glasses
Yeah.
on the field. I know that's a huge issue. I was telling you, two of my sons, that's a big issue for them. And do you have that issue as well, like finding masks or whatever, like trying not, to keep everything in there and your glasses on and not fogging up, you know?
Yeah. So I actually don't play with my glasses. I should, but I don't. My right eye is my dominant eye.
Mm.
My left eye is like my happy eye. So I can somewhat see, but if it's like nighttime, I can't see anything. I tried playing with my glasses on one time, but because they're like really thin and metal, it was like pressing against my face. Like there's no
Uh,
flexibility. So I'm actually gonna get contacts and wear them on the weekends, so that way when I play, I can actually see.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my sons was talking about getting contacts. He tried contacts years ago, and I think he actually played with them one time, and he got something in his eye, dirt or whatever,
Yeah.
off the field, but at the event. And so his contact was screwed up. Excuse me.
Oh,
And so then he was like, he only had one in for the rest
mhm.
of the weekend. He's like, oh no, I had to go back to my glasses. But yeah, they've always had an issue with that. And that's a really common issue with most people that I've seen and talked uh,
Mhm.
with anytime you wear a mask. And
Yeah.
even at my work, some of the stuff I do, I wear a respirator, and I wear a full face mask with a respirator.
Okay.
So
Oh,
it's like, yeah, so it has a full like visor,
yeah.
face thing on it and everything. So when I'm painting, because I use a sprayer, it's painting a giant house or whatever inside,
Yeah.
or sanding and all that kind of stuff, I wear it. And it's, we're in
Oh, okay.
South
Like
Carolina.
what's it called? They're not N95s like the 100s. Like they're purple and big.
Yep.
Yeah. My dad airbrushes cars, so he
Oh,
like
yeah,
yeah. I have to.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the one when I'm painting, I have to wear those, the purple ones.
Mhm.
Now, when I'm sanding, like drywall and stuff, I use just the regular white ones, just
Yeah.
for dust. I tried using those with the paint. No,
Yeah.
my whole mask is filled with the mist from the paint, like it
Yeah.
goes through the filters. So I have to wear those purple ones. But so even with those, like, we're in South Carolina. It's hot
Mhm.
most of the time. This thing just fogs up like crazy. I'm like, dude. Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
airsofters have, and paintballers who, whatever, like
Yeah.
y'all have the same issues
Mhm.
with all that kind of, figuring out your glasses and a mask that works right and doesn't fog up too much. And
Yeah.
it's
And
not an
then
easy solution, unfortunately.
it really isn't. And then
Mm.
I don't know how, but so I used to play paintball, and with the mask that I used to wear, it would constantly fog up, even like without my glasses. It
Yeah.
was just like fog city. Like I'd be on the field, and it's terrible. And then I got like my first dye mask, and I haven't had any fogging at all. So I don't know if it's like maybe the type of mask I had before. It was like close to a rental mask. That was my old one. So maybe it
Yeah.
was like the design of it.
Yeah. The dye mask, my oldest son, who has to wear glasses, for everything. He when he got a dye mask, he didn't have hardly any problems with it fogging up.
Yeah.
I think because they have like some kind of vents built in around,
Mhm.
but yeah, that was probably the best one that he had. But it was kind of like you were saying earlier. It was a little tight for his glasses, so it was kind of like pushing him on his face. But he's got a big head, so you know he's a big dude. He's 6'1" and like 320 pounds,
Jeez. Oh
and
my.
so he gets a mask. He got this Ronin mask. I don't know if you've heard of or a Ronin helmet. You ever heard of
Oh
those?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, like a full giant ass helmet.
Yeah.
So the real one is rated. It's geared for like real steel, like military use kind of thing, where
Yeah.
it'll block like shrapnel and all kind of shit. And well, he got the airsoft version, so it'll stop BBs and stuff. But and it looks badass. So he got this thing. He got the largest one they could, he could get. He could barely get it on his head. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not fitting my glasses in here at all." So he couldn't wear it, unfortunately. But he wanted to, because it looks
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Crazy. And then imagine seeing someone with it, and he's 6'1". Oh
yeah,
my.
yeah.
Crazy.
And I mean, big dude. Well, when I go out, like, so my wife and I have 5 kids, 3 boys, 2 girls, and they're all in their 20s. And when I go, if I go out somewhere, or me and my wife or whatever, we go out somewhere with our 3 boys, they're like, 2 of them are, that big. Now the third one he's like normal size, okay, like for that age, he's
Yeah.
like 5'10", 5'11", whatever, and
Yeah.
normal size. But when I go out with Colton and Christian, the 2 bigger ones, people are always like, "What are your bodyguards? Like, what do you got?"
That's crazy. I still think like 5'10", 5'11" is tall because I'm 5'1". So I'm like,
Okay,
I still think anything above like 5'4" is like extremely tall. That's
right.
like, I literally look up at people.
Oh, we had so one of their good friends, one of their best friends that they grew up with, got married just a few months ago. Well, he's like another son to us. He's been in the house for so many years, and we're kind of like his surrogate parents, because he only had his dad growing up, and his dad and him aren't really, aren't close and stuff. So, and he spent so much time with us. He's always calling us, mom and dad. But so he's really short. He is, he's I think 5'4", right? Uh, for a guy and his age.
Yeah.
And so he gets around these guys and he looks, even smaller. So he
Yeah.
comes over. Well, he had his wedding party, and 2 guys that were going to the wedding were 6'7".
Oh my god.
So he had my 2 sons who are 6'1", 6', 6'1", 320 pounds. Then he had 2 guys that were 6'7", and then there's this,
Yeah.
then there's him
I-
and a few other his friends. But all the wedding pictures and stuff. We took a bunch of pictures here at the house before we went to to the wedding and whatever. But uh, and I was like, bro, you're gonna have to stand out in front of, like, way out in front of them. We can't
Yeah.
see you. Oh yeah.
That's funny. I have, it was actually like a couple of days ago, I had a patient. He was taller than our like measurement thing. He was like seven something.
Oh shit.
So yeah, so and then I'm just looking up and I'm like, dude, I can't like get your height. I was like, tell me and I'll believe you. It
You
was like,
need one of those construction like tape measures like I
yeah.
use, Here, hold this.
Like hold it, let me know.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's crazy. So you said patient, you work in the medical field?
Yeah, I'm a medical assistant
Hmm.
currently. So I work for Banner.
Yeah. My wife does the same thing. She's a
Oh,
CPM. Yeah.
oh, nice.
I think that's what they're called. CPM. Or CPN, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Uh,
like
there's there's an certified medical assistant, CMA, sorry.
CMA. Yeah, that's what I'm
Look,
a
I don't
CMA.
know what the hell.
Oh, that's me. I'm a CMA too.
Oh, okay, yeah. She's been doing that for quite a few years. And yeah, so she used to work, actually, I talked her into doing that because she used to work, she was a manager at a local Taco Bell. So she worked, food service, and she hated it because she was there till, she'd have to close all the time, like 3, 4 in the morning. And so I was like, why don't you go to school and because she was always interested in the medical field. I was like, go do that. So she did. And it was really hard because she actually worked full time
Oh,
and went to school full time for 16 months. And
wow.
and our kids were younger. I mean, they were, most of them were teenagers. So, I mean, they didn't need constant care. They were,
Yeah.
but still they had, two of our daughters were in dance. All three of our boys were in sports. And,
Okay.
and I was working a lot of overtime as well. So, we were extremely busy for those couple of years, but then she got her certificate or whatever, and then found a job at a doctor's office. And she actually works at a doctor's office, like literally like 2 miles from our house. It's
That's
so
so
close.
cool. Yeah, kind of. So kind of like same here. I'm only like 15 minutes down the road from my work.
Mm,
It's also like the same thing, like a doctor's office, so like your primary care.
right.
That's so
Yeah. And she, well, she used to love it. She's been doing it long enough to where she's like, I don't love it anymore. But
yeah. It
you
is
know,
kind of repetitive. Yeah, I've only been there for like maybe like 2 years, and I just started school to go into nursing, so I'm like I'm
gotcha.
kind of ready to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. It's she was talking about that as well because she uh she got really discouraged like in the last few months because she reached her top rate for her position or whatever, and she was all pissed off. And I'm like, man, when I worked jobs, uh most of the jobs in the past, like factories and stuff, when I hit top rate, like I was glad. Like I was like, that's my goal.
Yeah.
And the first day she reached top rate, she was all pissed off. She's like, no,
Um,
because now I have nowhere else to go. Like there's no way to move
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And so I keep encouraging her to start her own business because she's she's very disciplined with, working and stuff. And so anyway, yeah, so she used to love it, and now she's kind of like, and then of course she's really tired of wearing masks and shit. So,
Yeah. Me too. I'm over it.
oh, for real. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are, so that's,
Yeah.
but I was not in a position, where I had to wear it all the time.
Mhm.
She is like every day. And she's like, yeah, I'm so tired. I just want to look for something else, whatever. But
Yep.
I had jobs in the past where I actually painted, like parts, machine parts.
Mhm.
So it's like painting a car. So you'd be in a big paint room that's sealed up, and we'd have all these machine parts hanging. And they were big, they were uh, fabricated metal parts or whatever for these machines. And so I'd go in there with a sprayer, full suit, full mask. So that's I geared up every day, all day, wearing this thing and
Yeah.
spraying. I'd come
Yeah.
out covered in blue paint. We painted all the parts blue, and but anyway, so I know what it's like to wear those all the time. But
Yeah.
I think it's a little different because probably, I guess, because of what's going on, or what's happened over the last few years.
Yeah.
It's like, man, we don't need to wear this. So why are we still wearing them?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I get it because like I'm hand like contact with patients,
Hmm.
but it's just still like at least not at my desk. Like I'm alone. I have like my own desk. Like at least not there. So
That's how she is too. She has her
yeah.
own desk and everything. So she's always pulling it down when she has to, when she's over there. But yeah, so I think she's like, I'm ready to move on, you know.
Well,
So
that's good.
you're studying nursing. You said you want to be
Yes.
RN.
Yes, I do. So I'm actually
Awesome.
starting August. Um, and then from there, I'm going to go to RN. And then after I'm done, I'm going to go for my BSN.
Nice. Okay, that's good. Yeah, she talked about going back to school, and she's like, I don't want to do it.
I mean, I don't want to go to school, but in the end, it's going to benefit me. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm in a position now where the work I'm doing now, I have a lot of freedom.
okay.
So, yeah, I work with a friend and we flip houses. So we do construction.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So, and so we just make our own schedule. We just do like if I got to do something,
Yeah.
like we have a lot of freedom with that. As long as we
Yeah.
finish whatever job we're doing, like it works out good. So
Yeah. I remember you talking about that in your previous podcast. That's like in one of your previous podcasts.
yeah,
That's,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been a huge blessing for me because I worked factory work most of you know well a lot of years while our kids were growing up, and I just volunteered for overtime all the time. Like I worked 60, 70 hours and plus hours a week for a lot of years. And so to pay for five kids, you know?
yeah.
So, um, but now it's kind of nice that they're grown and yeah. So you guys are in, well, first of all, how do you say your name? Is it Yamaleta?
So it's Yamilet. So
Yamilet. Okay.
yep. And then I just go by Yami. How I tell people it's like saying the word yummy, but instead of the U, it's an A.
Right.
And that's how. Yep.
Good.
And then it's funny because for the longest time I was trying to think like, what should my name be? Like before it was something like drive you crazy, but it wasn't the full words. And then that didn't click. And then one night I'm driving, and I was like, I've literally had a nickname my entire life. It's Yami. So I was like, I'll use that.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So that's what you go by on the field and on, what everybody knows you by.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, I saw your on your profile on your Instagram. I think you had posted, I think it was on one of your posts. You had oh yeah, it was. It was one of your posts where you did like the Transformation Tuesday thing. And you were
Yeah.
like, I don't usually do these or whatever, but in there you put a little bit about yourself, and it was you had put how to say your name, and
Yes.
so yeah, I'm sure a lot of people mess that up.
Oh, all the time. I'm used to it though, but all the time. It's
Right.
either Jamie or if they see my full name, they're like Jamaletti, Jamaletta. So I'm like, I'm just gonna, help out some people.
Yeah. Let's fix this.
Yeah, let's fix.
I so yeah, and the problem is too. I looked up how to pronounce that
Oh,
your full name, and
really?
dude,
Oh,
I'm telling you. Well, I mean, I like to say somebody's name correctly. And so when I looked it up, I tried 4 different sites that said, where you can click on the audio thing. Every
Yeah.
single one pronounced the J as a J sound.
Hmm.
And I was like, what the hell? There's
Yeah.
no way.
No.
Because I saw your post where it's not, it's a Y sound. I'm like, these sites are wrong. Like,
So yeah, it's so funny because I remember I have a cousin with the same name as me, but she spells it with the Y. And everyone that I've met that like knows someone with my name spells it with the Y. So I go to my mom one day and I'm like, "Why'd you spell it with a J? Like, why could you make it easy?" And she goes, "It looks pretty with a J. I don't like how it looks with the Y." So that's why my name's spelled with a J because she typed
yeah,
it with a J.
that's cool though. Well, when I first typed it in, uh, it actually, you know how Google, like, if you misspell something, it'll ask you like, well, did you mean whatever?
Yeah.
And it said, did you mean, Yamaleta with a Y? And I'm like, no, I meant with a J. I want to know how to pronounce this one.
It's
Oh
the
yeah.
same. Yeah, but I appreciate you like actually trying to learn how to say it. That's the first. Like I never had anyone like want to learn how to say it on their own without my help.
Oh,
That's so cool.
I mean, that's, I mean, when I talk to people, I like to know something about them, or, and if you post something like that, when I
Yeah.
saw that you had put that in there, I assumed that most people mess it up, you know. I didn't want to mess it up, so
Well, thank you. You didn't mess it up.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
said it
sure.
perfect.
Well, you and I met through Instagram, and I want to say through some of the other women airsofters I follow, like Airsofter Sam, and
Yeah.
so I don't remember who, kind of where you came up with all the people I follow on there, but I thought it was cool, and sometimes I'm a little hesitant to reach out to people, uh, like if they haven't been playing long, or if they don't have like a lot of posts or whatever. Like, I'm like, well, I don't know. So I kind of
Yeah.
just, I think you had commented on one of the previous podcasts, or one of the previous posts that I put about a podcast.
Yeah.
And
I remember it was Alexis Spooky Airsoft. I think.
yes, that's what it
Yeah.
was.
I love watching when I first saw you did Sam. I watched that podcast and I loved how you just have like a conversation so genuine. And then I was like, oh, I'll watch the other ones. And then I was like, this is a great podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Like I said, it's not professional. And honestly, there's been some times where we're talking, when I'm talking to somebody, I'm just like, I, I'm horrible, man. I don't know what to say. So I just recorded something. It's kind of a preface. I just recorded it tonight, actually. Preface to the podcast that's going to come out tomorrow morning with a guy I did a podcast with a few days ago, and during that podcast, I was kind of blanking out or whatever, and so
Yeah.
it wasn't as smooth of a conversation. It was a little shorter podcast than our normal ones, and he was like, "Man, I'm sorry I wasn't easy to talk to." I'm like, "No, it wasn't you, bro. It was, So I think that's what, I don't want people to feel like that when I talk to them. So I want them to feel comfortable. I, I always imagine I'm just like, you're here at one of our barbecues or cookouts or whatever. We're just hanging out, and we just, oh, hey, you're brand new here. Like, oh, I don't. And this is how I talk to somebody when they come over. If I haven't met them yet, I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
um, and we just start talking, and we'll talk for 20, 30 minutes. And I want them to feel comfortable when they're here for a party.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times, if they're not with somebody, or even if they are, they'll get here and they're like kind of like by themselves,
Yeah.
off in the corner. I don't like people to feel like that. Like,
Me too.
bro, hey, come here. Hey, we're doing. Do you drink? Hey, we're doing shots. All right, come on, because that'll loosen up everybody.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the same way, and like I'm also like a chatterbox. So I'm like, it won't be too silent between us. Just a heads up.
Yeah, that's good. No, I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did this podcast recently where there were two guys that I talked to, and they're on the same MilSim team.
Okay.
And I was like, when I was prepping for, or just like getting everything set up, I was like, man, this is gonna be great. All I got to do is ask one question, and they'll talk for a while. Like I don't have to
Yeah,
talk that much. So,
like different
and
accents everywhere.
right, yeah, it worked out good. But I do like to talk. Obviously, I'm doing these, so oh yeah. But I think it makes people feel more comfortable too, because if they've watched some of our previous ones or listened to them, uh, they know that I don't know a lot about airsoft. And so, I don't have a lot of experience or whatever. I mean, we're not talking tech talk here. We're not talking about how to fix your pistol if it breaks, or
Yeah,
like all
I'm
the
I'm
parts and
still
shit.
learning. I'm still learning. I'm with you. Don't worry. Like I
Yeah.
know enough. I know a good amount, but when it comes to the tech, I try to learn. Like I even have nicknames of the parts so I can remember them.
Like what?
So, like for example, like Kythera, I call it the Kraken. That's how I remember
Oh
what it is.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's another. What is it? Like hop up. I say hopscotch because like that's how I'll remember.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
I was out in the field one time and I was talking to someone and I said, um, "Oh, the Kraken," and they're like, "What? No!" And I was like, "Oh my god, no! It's the other word." It was yeah,
Oh, that's funny. They're like, "Wait, what? Where's Kraken? I want a
yeah,
shot."
yeah. So
Because
like,
I drink Kraken rum a lot. So
oh, okay, yeah, I've seen
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
the hopscotch thing. I can imagine you're on the field and like, man, my hopscotch is messed up. And they're like,
yeah,
"What?"
yeah. And like, my boyfriend's the only one that like actually helps me with like the tech work. Because I want to do it on my own to say like, hey, I actually did this.
Yeah.
Um, and he gets frustrated, but not really bad. He's just like, that's not what it's called. And I'm like, this is what helps me. I was like, don't try to change it. It's already written in stone.
Oh yeah. Once you like kind of set that in your head
Yep.
from the beginning, it's hard to go back, or I guess forward to the real word.
Yeah.
You know. Now, are you so you like kind of doing things on your own? Do you have
Yeah,
siblings?
I do. I have a younger brother, so I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay, you're the oldest. So
Hmm.
you got to prove yourself, like I know what I'm doing, and
Yep.
be
Yeah, and then he
responsible.
all the time. It's the
Uh,
oldest. It's our job.
right. I hear you. Yeah, my one of my sons that's on our YouTube channel, he's the Chris. He's the oldest. That's what I was talking about. That's has to wear the glasses.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so he actually he didn't take that role as far as siblings go.
Hmm.
Uh, our next child did, which is my oldest daughter.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh yeah, she is like you know on top of all the
yeah,
shit. Like she knew what
yeah.
was going on. At 5 years old, she wanted to like, Mom, you're not cleaning my room. I want to clean my room. Like, oh okay. Like
Yeah.
she's making a statement, and like she was gonna control him. We're like, yeah, of course, yeah, honey, go ahead.
They're like, go ahead, all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the thing about it. Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I like to, I like help if I need help. Yeah, but like, I'm like, I want to do it on my own. So,
sure. Now, did you grow up in? You guys are in Arizona.
yep.
Did
Phoenix
you
or yeah,
grow up
Phoenix.
around that area?
Yes, born and raised in this very streets on
Yeah.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Okay.
So went
I
through,
was
yeah, yeah, every summer we go through like the 100-degree heat. It's great.
yeah. My grandma and my uncle on my dad's side.
Mhm.
So my dad's brother and my dad's mom lived in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Uh, well, right around Phoenix. God, I can't remember the name of the city. It's where now this is years ago. So
Mhm.
15, 20 years ago. Uh, Sun City, is that
Oh yeah, Sun City.
okay?
Yeah.
So now this is what they said when they told me where they were at because I was stationed in California at the time, and we were going to
Mhm.
go visit them. And they said, "Yeah, it's where all the old people go to retire." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So,
Yep.
but
Yep.
he was talking about the same thing. He said, "I remember, I mean, I had been in some hot places, and while I was in the military and stuff." And he says, "No, man, this place gets so hot, you could put an egg on the sidewalk and it'll cook."
Yep.
And I
I
was
did
like,
that
"No
before.
way."
Hmm.
So we get
Yes.
there and everyone's yards are rocks. Like there's no one has grass. It was all rocks.
It's too expensive to keep up with the grass.
Mm.
Yep.
I can't imagine. Yeah, that's I mean it was as hot as he said. He was not
Yep.
exaggerating.
Nope. I know. I hate it. Like we played airsoft on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was torture. Like, and I normally like to play indoor. Um, and then I went to like outdoor for like the first time since it got really hot. It was a mistake. I was huffing and like sweating. It was just too much. Like I felt how slow I was. It was
Uh
terrible.
yeah, the heat'll do that
Hmm.
for sure. When you're running around with full gear on, especially when you have to wear, like a mask or
Yeah.
headgear or something,
Yeah.
all that heat is just like,
Hmm. Yeah. Like I actually had to change. I was like, I need to change. This is too much. I was getting a headache. Oh my god.
yeah, the indoor fields are probably air conditioned.
Yes. Oh, I love them so much. Now, since going on Saturday, I'm like, I'll be back like later. I was like, I'm
Right.
gonna live it now.
Yeah, so you guys so in Arizona the heat's it's hot in the day, but you guys have very little humidity, right? It's real dry.
Very little. It's
Yeah.
just dry.
And then so at night it cools off pretty good.
Yeah. I'd say it does. Of course, like we're just getting back into like really hot right now. So at night it's like a lot better. I feel like depending on like how hot it was, you'll still feel hot at night even.
Well, sure, all that asphalt and concrete and you
Yeah.
know cars and whatever's out in the sun all day holds all that heat. So it kind of carries it through the night.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you grew up there, so you're kind of used to it. But
Yep.
playing airsoft in it is a lot different.
Not really, no. Yeah, I'm used to it. Everyone's gonna complain about it, but at the end of the day, I'm used to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what? Speaking of airsoft, so how did you get into playing?
Oh wow. So I actually used to play paintball before I got into airsoft.
Yeah.
I started playing paintball when I was like um 11 or 12. And then one day, like 3 years ago, out of the blue, my dad's like, "Hey, I bought an airsoft gun. I bought two of them. Let's try it out." And because it's just a lot cleaner. Like paintball, you have just so much cake of paint on you. You
Yep.
can't sit in your car. You have to change, bring a pair of clothes just to drive. So we played airsoft. Haven't played paintball since. Just
Okay.
strictly now.
That's
And then,
cool.
oh yeah. And then I actually didn't know there was such thing as like an airsoft community. I had no idea this stuff even existed until I met AR Revolution, which is my boyfriend's team, and they like opened my eyes. I was like, whoa! I was like, this is a like there's teams, there's tournaments. There's ops at like um what's it called, line claws, where they go to Victorville. I was like, this is unreal, and
Yeah.
I'm obsessed right now.
Okay. So yeah, so my son, so I played paintball as well for like 6 years, and when my kids were younger, my oldest one that's you know into airsoft now, he was like 8, I think, and he kept asking, "I want to go, I want to go play, I want to go play," because he saw the paintball gun, he'd see me gear
Yeah.
up, whatever to get my stuff ready to go, and I was like, "No, man, it hurts. Like you're not ready for that. Maybe a couple years." So you might have heard this on another podcast, but I had him stand in the backyard. I shot him in his tennis shoe. He had shoes on. I shot him in his shoe. He cried for like 20 minutes. I was like, "See?" He's like, he said, "No, I don't want to go." So,
Oh my god.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's how my little brother's into airsoft now. But before he saw my dad and I gear up, and he was like, I want to do it, and we're like, listen, because I have a higher pain tolerance than he does. Well, because he's younger, and I'm older, so I was like, listen, you're gonna cry. I already know you're gonna cry. He goes, no, I'm not, and he's 13 right now. And even right now, if he gets shot pretty good, it still like stuns, like shocks him.
hmm
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like paintball too. We well later on, after I played it for a couple of years, we started wearing those like jerseys, that a lot of guys wear, and so they're kind of baggy, and some of the parts are kind of thicker material, and so they you still get marks or welts, but not as bad as wearing a t-shirt, and which is what I started out playing, and so you yeah, it wasn't too bad, but
Yeah.
the airsoft, when you have a bunch of gear on, it's not terrible.
No.
But it seems like what I've heard most people talk about is you always like the BB finds the spot that is like not covered for some reason.
Yeah.
That's where it goes. So you get hit in the neck or the fingers or the knuckles. If the one day you didn't wear gloves, that's where you get shot.
Yep. And oh my god, I used to just always have like acrylic nails on, and I had to take them off. And that's why I have like fingerless gloves, because my acrylics would like poke holes. So I was like, I'll just cut
Right.
them off. What are the odds my fingers are gonna get shot? Sure enough, all my fingers just get shot now. So I'm like, way to go. As soon as I cut.
That's funny because you think with as many girls are getting into airsoft now, uh, that they would make gloves to accommodate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, I never even thought of that. That's actually not come up in our conversation. But
I think that's a lot, actually. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, I should just open up a brand for girls to play, because I'm like, I have countless, like, so many pants, and I'm like, this one pair will work, but it won't fit me right. Um, like, I'm just like, I need to design something.
yeah, that needs to happen. This has actually come up probably 3 or 4 times in conversation on these podcasts where every single girl I've talked to is there's no like airsoft, gear, whatever, geared for women. Even the masks and stuff, or the headgear stuff, whatever, is they have to buy the child kind of like sizes or whatever because they're too big, and they just have to work around it, and especially pants. That's what I've heard the most is the pants. Uh, I haven't heard really anyone say, any of the women I've talked to say that they like the pants that they have to play in. So they're fine as far as, they're functional, but they still don't fit right. They're, and also not just with women, but everyone that plays airsoft, it's a fashion show. Like you want to look good on the field.
Yeah.
So So it's got to look good and feel good and be durable enough where if you are taking a knee or if you're sliding or whatever, that, it doesn't rip or wear out too fast, that kind of shit. Somebody needs to start something to get, a push towards getting some gear for you girls.
Yeah, I mean, like I have like six pants only designated for airsoft, and like I only wear them like once or twice, and I'm like, nope, I need new ones. Like, there's always a problem with the pants.
Hmm. Yeah, that's not good.
I mean, uh, like I could wear leggings, but like I'll feel a little more, and it'll kind of hurt a little more than like with pants. So like leggings won't really work.
Do they make, speaking of leggings, do they make leggings that are like thicker that would be better? I wonder if they make like a winter version of leggings, for women that, like if they're going to go jogging or walking or whatever, out, and they still want to wear leggings, but it's, snowing out.
Yeah, yeah. I know like I've seen pairs of like there's like fur inside, but like then again, like in Arizona, like I be sweating in that. So
Right? Yeah, that would be a tough one for sure.
oh yeah, very.
Well, I guess you could always put like football pads in your leggings. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I bought like these like knee pads, so it's like almost like you could just put it like a sleeve on, but it's for your knees. So I'm like, oh, I could wear those, but the thing is, like, they're foamy and they're really thin, so they're just constantly like ripping.
Oh yeah.
So, oh, like, I finally bought like hard knee pads, like that have like the shell on it.
Right.
And then when I put them on, my pants right up, so my whole ankle is exposed, and of course I'll get shot in the ankle. Jeez, no way.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get into the medical field? What did you always like that kind of stuff or
Yeah, I mean, kind of. My dad's always been in the medical field, so growing
okay.
up, it's like I've been around him talking about it, the lingo. It's really easy. It comes to me naturally. Like I like to tell people, I would like growing up when if I was waiting in a line to order for food while we're waiting, my dad would run me through all the chambers of the heart and the functions of a human heart. And I was like 6 years old at the time.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, and it's just crazy. I'm like, well, I already know this much. I'm used to it. I'll just go for it.
That's cool. Okay. So yeah, so he must know a lot about that kind of stuff.
He does, yeah. He reads a lot into a lot of stuff. He's just a big reader.
So he played paintball as well.
Yes, he did. He would compete like back then with his team. They would compete, go to California, and they were fighter towns. Fighter towns, one of the fields in Arizona.
Yeah.
They were under fighter town. So
Oh, that's cool. I wonder what got him in. Do you know what got him in paintball?
yes, video games got him into paintball.
What?
Yep. So he said he would play like Call of Duty and like Halo, and he was like, and I think he saw like an ad for it somewhere, and he was like, I want to try real life Call of Duty. He tried it, he got addicted, and then he got me addicted into it, and that's how it's been.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Well, I was actually, I've been a gamer my whole life. Halo, all the big ones, of course. And then before that, all the arcade games back in the 80s, and Space Invaders, Pac-Man, all that kind of stuff. But uh when I was playing Halo, some of the guys I worked with started talking about paintball. And I was like, I think I've heard of that. I don't know. So I went with them. And after the first time, I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I was fresh out of the military too. So I was like,
Oh,
looking for kind of like, something to like get out
yeah.
there. It's physical. You
Yeah.
get shot. There's that anticipation and you know, excitement of I don't want to get shot because it hurts. I want to win, so I want to shoot the other guys. And yeah, it was great. So I got in,
Oh,
got into that. I played for, handful of years or whatever and loved it.
mhm. Yeah, it's definitely very like addictive, especially to those who are competitive by nature. I'm really, really competitive. So like when I'm playing, I could like feel my adrenaline just rushing, and I'm like getting so pumped up. And if I get hit by the same person I've like got hit by a few times, I'm like I hunt them down. I'm like I need to get you at least once, and I'm done.
Oh
That's
shit.
yeah. It's crazy.
I think now did you play sports in school? Like growing up?
Yes. Yeah, I played. I did track and softball.
Okay. Did you like it?
Yes, I love running more than I did softball, so I love track. But I still love softball. It's still a good sport.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that a lot of people that really get competitive in airsoft, played sports and they were kind of like that already. And kind of airsoft is what they focused on because I think, after high school, and this happens for most people, after high school, if you don't get into, if you don't go in the military, because the military is like a lot of physical, most of the time it's a lot of physical stuff, that kind of feeds that need, I guess, after high school. Because after high school, man, if you don't go to into college sports or something like that, uh, there's kind of a letdown in a way. Like you don't realize it at the time. Like you're just ready to get out of high school, but then when you're out and you're going, wait a minute, man, I miss this competitive. Like, what do I do to be competitive? Because you get a job and you can't really compete in jobs, most jobs. Like you're stuck in this whatever job you're in, and there's not a civil way to like compete with your coworkers,
Yeah,
you know.
that's allowed
So
anyways.
right. So uh, I think after a couple years after high school, I think most people are looking for this way to what do I do? Like I play video games, yeah, that's competitive, it's fun, but you're missing the physical aspect of it, Uh, what do I do that's going to be fun where I can run around and do some, whatever, and it's airsoft seems like uh, a really good fit for that kind of thing because not only do you go get to the physical part of running around and shooting each other and trying to win, but you can also wear some awesome looking gear that makes you feel
Yeah.
badass.
Like I remember, like a while ago, I was like, I'm so bored. Like I need something, and like I shoot real steel, so I'm like, I love guns, but I can't shoot because like ammo is so scarce and it's just so
Mm,
expensive. It's kind of like perfect because there's airsoft, and I saw that um, there's what are those ops that you can go to and you could compete against a team, or there's speed QB where it's like more speed. Um, so I'm like, it has everything I want. It has a gun, it has competitiveness, and like still a physical activity. So I'm still like running and getting my blood flowing.
right. Yeah, and that's the one sport. Like there is a wide variety of gameplay styles or whatever that types that if you're not feeling like the woodland stuff, going out to a milsim, if you want to play Speed QB one weekend, you go do that. And then in another month, you signed up for a 3-day milsim, you go for the full military experience, whatever. And then they have different levels of that as well, like the 40-hour continuous, nonstop. Like once they say go, look, there's not even sleeping, okay? You can't leave the field.
Heard,
You're you're ready to go all the time.
heard you have to like, if you fall asleep, you have to worry about getting shot while you're asleep. Like
Hmm.
I want to do one of those at least like once because like I need my sleep. I'm not gonna lie. hear so many different stories about like the 40-hour ones that are just go, go, go. Jeez.
Yeah, I think a lot of people start getting attracted to that after they start, playing airsoft for a little while. So they go to some indoor fields and they go, and I think a lot of them watch some videos where they see a lot of this gameplay, with like the mil sim kind of gameplay, and they go, man, that would be cool too, like I want to go try that. And so they'll go to a 3-day mil sim, and they have 1-day events as well that are like in the like a woodland or whatever, kind of play, like skirmishes and stuff like that. So there's all these different types and styles and variables that you can try out for whether indoor, like indoor, just kind of casual, like where it's not, I guess, you know, super competitive for somebody that's brand new, like you have a lot of steps along the way where you can just try out all this different, different types for airsoft, where you go start out brand new in an indoor field, end up, a year later going to a 40-hour continuous with full on gear with night vision goggles and, on a team that's like, and in a helicopter, by the way, you can take
Oh,
helicopter rides in those. Um,
nice. I want to do that. I want to do that so bad. That's on my airsoft bucket list for sure.
I hear you. Well, that's why I was saying it, because it feels like, what you're talking about with the competitiveness. There's, when you get into those 3-day mil sims, from people I've talked with, um, what I'm hearing is they started out kind of the same way, you know, and as they progressed, they're like, man, this is, I want more. And so they keep going to bigger events and bigger events that were more intense events. And then they end up at the like Milsim West, which is really strict and like, you know, like a real sim where your mags, you have to have mid caps, you have to have, like all this. You're on the field from the time we say go until until it ends. And one of the guys I talked to the other day, uh, Mr. Off Topic, Mr. OT, he he went to a Milsim West event. His very first Milsim was Milsim West event. He said, and it was a
Oh,
40-hour continuous. And he actually went there. I don't know if you follow her on Instagram, Soda Air, or
yeah.
Soda 241.
Yeah, I actually met her at a Milsom event here in Arizona.
Oh
She's
shit.
so cool. Yeah, it was we played at Metro Center Mall. So when the mall was gonna be demolished and they're like play airsoft in it. So I
Yeah.
met her at the mall. That's so cool.
Oh, that's cool. I did a podcast with her like 3 weeks ago, and yeah, it was great. She's a great person, great to talk with. But she, same thing that you're talking about. She loves the continuous, like the real competitive, that kind of thing. Well, this Mr. OT, he went to his first, Milsim, and Soda was actually there. I think he was on the same team as her. Well, 40-hour event, he quit after 9 hours. And so, and so we actually talked about this on the podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, I felt so bad, and Soda never let me live it down. She was like on my ass about it." So,
Oh, poor guy. I heard they're like really strict for Milsom West ones.
hmm well, the thing is, and this guy's in shape, like, but some people that want to do that, uh, they, like most people that quit those, like before it ends, they they don't realize how physical it is to be, on the field like nonstop, right? So you're always moving, and if you're not moving, just like in the, real training in the military. If somebody's sleeping, somebody's got to be up doing guard watch, like what we called fire watch or whatever. But that is, somebody's got to be standing guard because the other team might be coming after you at night. And I've heard, I think Soda was talking about it in our podcast. She was talking about how the Milsim West, they one of the events they went to, she the other team were playing like loud music and baby crying sounds throughout the night
Oh
so that they
no.
couldn't sleep.
Play psychological warfare. Oh my
Yes.
smart.
Oh yeah. So
Yes.
I feel like if you're ready for the next level, you're probably gonna end up at one of these 40 hours with Soda or somebody like that because the competitive part of it.
Like I think Copperhead's coming up in September. I want to sign up for that. I really want to do a Milsom West. I've only done like Lion Claws events, so I've gone
Okay.
to Victorville. Um, that was cool. I love Victorville. It was just a whole different environment. And like you said, like the physical. Even though we're on the field, like maybe 2.5 hours, maybe three even. It's just a lot of like walking, and it's kind of hot in Victorville too. Like around the time of year I went, and yeah, you're carrying all this gear, water packs, and like if you run into people, you have to like get ready to bolt out. Um,
Now is this so your boyfriend plays as well, right? You guys go together. Does he like the Milsim stuff or the indoor like the speed QB stuff more?
it's kind of like we're like one he prefers like the speed QB side more, but we both just enjoy playing the game and like just opening hours to like trying anything new, really.
Right. Now you guys so you've gone to California to play. Have you played with Hasmin?
I haven't. I want to go back out and like actually play with like most of the girls out there.
Yeah, because there's Airsofter Sam. She's out, by LA. There's Valkyrie, who I did a podcast with not long ago. Um, she's right in that area as well. And then Hasmim, and then of course Soda is in. I think she's somewhere in Washington.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she goes to California a lot. I don't think there's a whole lot of airsoft fields in Washington, so I think she goes out there, more.
I think so. I like asked her when I first met her, but like I kind of don't remember.
Yeah,
Go out to California more. There are these tactical challenge leagues I see, and I thought that's so cool. It's like a day thing or a weekend thing. So I'm like, I really want to go out there because I see Hasmin do um Valkyrie, right?
yeah,
Hasmin, yeah, you heard do them, and I'm like, oh, I want to go out and like meet all these like cool people. Because like over social media, I'm not like a big texter. I don't know why I seem so shy, but in person or even like on video call, I'm like, whoa, I'm so loud. I'm like, I don't
yeah.
want
I
to talk.
say you don't seem shy at all.
It's just
Yeah,
like the texting aspect.
gotcha.
And then I met Sam at a Milsim event, which was Lion Claws. And it's so cool because she was actually one of the first airsoft girls I ever like saw, and I was like, oh my god, more exist out there. And I was like, oh my god, I think I texted her. I was like, I like really look up to you as like a girl that plays airsoft. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first met her, I was like fangirling a little. I was like, oh my god, I miss Sam. And we're both like part of a team now with like where it's mostly where it's all girls. So I do like there's video chats and she's in them. I text her if like I ever have any questions or help, and she's just like a really big help.
Yeah, she's cool. Now, is that the FTW?
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about? The group? Yeah, because who was talking about that? I think it was Valkyrie. Uh, Crap, I can't remember. I think it was Valkyrie was talking about the FTW. But anyway, whoever. Oh no, it was Spooky. It was Spooky Airsoft. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, she's in it too. She's in Georgia, I think.
right, she's in Georgia. Uh, her and her friend started the FTW group. So yeah, that's who it was. But yeah, a lot of you girls out here are part of that. You know, are becoming part of that team.
I remember getting like a text out of the blue one day, like, "Hey, there's a girl team kind of like going on. Do you want to join?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." And that's
Yeah.
kind of like it's just so everyone's so nice, so cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everyone I've talked to that's guys and girls, no matter what country or whatever they're in, uh, they're all uh, they're just glad to be playing airsoft and you know being at these events and the teams and stuff. And it's really cool to see uh, the girl groups getting together and forming like their own teams and stuff. I think it's cool.
And it's also great to like finally like relate to somebody with some stuff because like I
Right.
love like all my guy friends. I love them. They're like my brothers. But like I can't relate to some of the things you guys
Well,
talk
sure.
about.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I laugh, but there's some stuff I'm like, I can't get on this, guys. I'm sorry. So like, there's these girls, and I'm like, I could text them, and they'll relate to me, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so great.
yeah. Like, what pants do you wear? Because these ones suck.
I did that. Oh my god, I actually texted the group. I was like, hey, I might have a Milsim event coming up. I need pants. What do you guys wear? And like, they're sending me links and some suggestions. And I was like, this is amazing. I was like, I don't have to struggle for pants anymore.
Oh, that's cool. So I've seen after I talked to a few of the girls in the UK that were talking about it with the pant, what kind of pants to wear and stuff. I was doing some research. There's a few like bigger stores like Cabela's, right? So they have a whole section for women for like hunting gear, pants and stuff like that. Uh, I haven't talked to anyone that's tried them yet.
So I actually did have Cabela pants, and like I
Oh,
would them before. Probably weren't the correct brand, or even like fabric, because this is when I first got into airsoft.
yeah,
So they were very, I don't know what it was just very non-stretchy material. Um,
right.
it was like cut. It was very uncomfortable.
Hmm.
Um, so I was like, I don't want to use these. But then again, it could have been like the brand I got. So I might
Yeah.
actually go. Cabela's is a thing.
I think from what I've seen, like and I have this problem with work pants as well. So with what I do, and this is most guys, on a construction site or whatever, if you're up and down all the time on ladders, and then you have to squat down on the floor, I'm crawling around on my hands and knees, doing trim around the bottom of the floor, whatever it is, I need some flexible pants. Especially in the summer where it gets hot, the thick, old style or whatever, work pants, they don't work. I don't like them. Most of us that work like, this kind of work, we don't like those. That's why over the years, they come out with those, the ones that are like the heavy style like that, but they have like, the flexible material throughout the inner seam, all the way inside your legs, throughout the crotch and stuff that stretch. But the problem is, for us, and I'm sure it's the same with, playing, is it sticks to my thighs. So if I go to kneel down, I can stretch my legs out side to side just fine because they have that stretchy material in there. But when you go to kneel down, it sticks to your thighs and then it pulls like it gets stuck. It's uncomfortable. I feel like for women pants for playing, if there was leggings that had like just regular leggings that had some kind of extra padding built into the knees, and maybe just the thighs, like football pads, but a lot smaller, where wherever you get shot the most, or the most exposed areas, would be kind of protected. That would be like the ideal thing. It'd be cool it'd be stretchy, you'd look good, you'd feel good, and it would still, protect you from getting shot, right?
Like I'm thinking like I always need to have like a pair of like because I like wearing cargo pants like when I play. I like
Yeah,
the extra pockets. I like the bagginess of it. So I'm like I always need to wear like leggings or like workout shorts underneath to have some like stretch like comfortness because like
yeah.
they don't they're cargo pants. They don't stretch.
Uh-uh.
And then like some are thin. Like it's like a guessing what you're gonna get. It's either thin, thick, fit. There's no right pants.
I used to do that same thing. So I had all these work pants that were that, real stiff and thick and heavy, and they always stick to my legs. So I bought these compression shorts that are like, biking shorts, the cyclists, that wear. But so they're called shorts, but they're really long. So they go past my knee. I wear those, and they're like neoprene or, they're just like leggings basically. So they uh they're real slippery. So the pants would actually slide instead of getting stuck on my thighs or my knees. But the problem that, I've always had with work pants is they they still just don't, stretch enough to when you're doing all these different, things or whatever on the job. But yeah, there's definitely a need for good airsoft pants for women for you guys.
And like just in general too, because like when you're going up and down, squatting or whatever, like you just feel the tightness of the pants, and I feel like I'm gonna end up like SpongeBob in that one episode and rip my pants. They're just too tight.
I hear you. Well, speaking of that, my when we first started our channel, my sons would go to these events and they would wear GoPros and stuff. The very first mil sim they went to was a 24-hour continuous. They they were all three wearing GoPros, and my son, one of my sons, the first hour of the game, his pants, he bought new pants to go right for the team.
Um,
The whole crotch ripped out. He did the same thing. He bent down. It rained the whole weekend there, so they were all wet and soaked. And
no.
so he squatted down behind this tree or whatever, and the whole thing ripped. This is all caught on GoPro, okay? Now I cut it out in the video because he looks down. You can see his underwear and stuff, and it's like, but you could hear it rip on the camera. And the whole, it ripped down to like the whole inside ripped down to like almost the knees. Like the pants just were shitty. Okay. So, I'm sure that's a common thing, where that could happen. Uh, it happened to him on his first one, but yeah.
What are the odds it happens?
Uh, yeah. Hopefully you'd be wearing like yoga pants or something, something underneath if that did happen.
It's fear. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, geez.
Oh,
It's gonna,
Jesus.
it's gonna happen next week. Watch.
No, you get those. Most of those Kemi pants, if you get the rip stop, you know, they're like the little more expensive kind of brands or whatever, but they say rip stop or whatever. There's like the cross thread. The problem with those is because they're like that, they don't stretch. So you got to pull them up to like kneel down, Oh yeah. So what's your guys' big plans for this year for Airsoft?
So I really just want to do a lot of Milsim events. I'm gonna try at least with my schedule. I want to go to Copperhead in September, so
Yeah.
go there. We'll see. I want to go to one of the KWA Tactical Challenge leagues. I think that's what they're called in
Yeah.
California. I definitely want to do one of those. It's just
I
mainly I want to just go out of state and just like experience a lot of these different fields. I played in California, but only like one time at one field. So I really
okay.
want to go out to different places and like see what everyone's talking about. the different fields, and like not to mention like the playing styles. I hear in Georgia it's different there, California, like every state kind of has like a different vibe to it. And I just want to like
Okay. Now, what kind of gear do you guys run, you and your boyfriend? What's your favorite pistol and rifle to go?
oh my rifle so it's a AG, so to be more specific it's a SSG. It has a Perun in it. I never worked with it. He's never worked with it. We have a tech guy that actually is helping us with that because it has been acting up here and there.
What is
Uh,
it now? What's inside of it?
Perun.
Yeah, I've never
It's
heard of
like
it.
people haven't. I don't even know how he came across it because like one day I was just at work. He's like, "Hey, I got this fit for you," and I was like, oh, "Okay, cool." And like it's something I was like, "Oh, I've never heard of that." And then his tech guy was like, "I've never worked on this, but like let's find out."
Huh. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's working pretty good. It shoots fast because I need to like shoot fast. That's just me. Pistol. So I'm actually gonna to pistols now that I want to play speed QB and like more close and compete. So
Yeah.
I right now have a Terran Tactical. So it's stock, like out of the box. So I'm just gonna do a lot of like upgrades and close bound, put in the new things.
Okay. Now, is there a gun that you've seen that you want that you don't have yet?
I want a kite.
A Kraken?
Yeah, yeah, I want a Kraken. Or what are those? Oh, I want no. Scratch that. I want a Chris Vector.
Oh shit.
I have a friend. He has like five. Just let me buy one. I want one so bad.
Yeah, why does he need five, bro? Come on.
I don't know. I think we asked him, and he's like, "It's a collection." So,
Nice. No, that's cool. Coltrane on our channel, he one of my sons, he bought a Vector. This is probably 2.5 years ago, and I guess they're highly rated. I know they're good guns. We got the one that they didn't get checked that day or something because it was shit. So now I gotta say though, it could have been like we used the mags that came with it, and it just didn't feed right or whatever. We can never get it shooting right. Then again, we didn't know what we were doing, like how to fix it and stuff in the beginning. So I didn't know to check the bucking and all the internal stuff, whatever at the time. So I couldn't do anything with it, but and he couldn't either. So he ended up selling it because he's like, I don't know what to do with it. But it was probably something simple, to be honest, looking back on it now. But those things look awesome. I love how they look, and especially because he had, it came with this long suppressor on it. It looked really cool.
just they look cool. Like I just want to play with one. I haven't had an opportunity like to play with one. Um, like I just want one so bad. I see them. I was this close to buying one time. I was this close. Um, I
They're not cheap. I know that.
no, I think once like I took my card out, I was like, I was like, I don't need this right now.
Right. I hear you. Yep. Well, that's cool. I've had a really good time talking with you.
Same here. Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for being on. It's been great.
for having me. This is awesome. I just love talking.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, yeah, you're definitely not shy. You're very comfortable, and you know, it's been good.
Ben, thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, and you guys have a
So
good
much
night.
too.
All right, I'll see you next time.